I'm Jonathan Volsky, the Communications and Marketing Manager for the City of Lake Forest. I'm here today with our Supervising Code Enforcement Officer, Daryl Hill, and we're talking about the steps the city has taken to try to keep illegal food vendors in check. Daryl, thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure, Jonathan.
So why is it important that the city enforce the laws and regulations regarding the illegal food vending?
Well, there's a lot of reasons behind that, and it goes into public health, it goes into environmental issues, it gets into legal issues. We try to do our best to tackle all three of these areas, and we do that by notifications, we do that by confiscations.
So the vendors that we see out typically in the evening selling tacos and food like that, there's no inspections for health department or anything else like that with them?
That is correct. They do not have a health permit. As you can imagine, food is not handled in the best way possible. It's not refrigerated. It's not a healthy situation. It's not a safe situation.
And I understand the health threat. Obviously, you have food that's not being kept safely, no hot water to wash hands, no cooling. But you mentioned environmental impacts. What are we seeing on the environmental impacts from these food vendors?
The most obvious that people come across is they see food waste, stains. The vendors will take their used grease, oil, and pour that down into storm drains, which ultimately go into the creeks, and that creates an environmental hazard for the state of California as well.
Yeah, so you can see the damage being done there. You mentioned confiscations, and that's a last resort. Do they get a warning before their confiscation, before the equipment's confiscated? And you can tell that your crew's been busy. We've got quite a few confiscations behind us. How does that work?
Well, recently we have now new ordinances in place which allow the city to do the confiscation, the impounding, and when we go out, part of that responsibility we have is to give these vendors a 30-minute notice. Then we will return in 30 minutes. If they are not gone, if they have not packed up and left the city, we will confiscate.
Daryl, thank you very much for your time today, and thank you for you and your team and all the work that goes into this. The illegal food vendors are a threat to the public health. They're a threat to the environment by dumping their grease into our storm drains that go right to our creeks, and they're a threat to our business community. So please think twice and patronize our legal businesses